Started at the beginning, and now we're at the end of an era. The first 100 years of the African American presence in St. Petersburg. We started with the first man, John Donaldson, and now we're here to the end of segregation.
Well, yes, Spa Beach desegregation was one of several things that happened from the mid to the late 60s. Let's say, for convenience, starting with the 1964 passage of the Civil Rights Act. I think of the 12 St. Petersburg police officers who sued the city, their employer, so that they could police any part of town and finally be able to arrest a white person and to enjoy within the department the same kinds of dressing and shower facilities that their white colleagues did. There was a sanitation strike in '68, which was resolved slightly in the favor of the sanitation workers.
Very slightly.
Yeah, and that they got a very small raise. But people have told me that that was just another event that began to focus on the civil rights in St. Petersburg and what needed to be done.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me.
And one of the things I think of is after that sanitation strike, for the first time, there was an organization called the Community Alliance that was formed. It was a combination of black and white leaders who would get together every month and talk about problems, not necessarily to be reactive, but to be proactive and figure out how they could head off some potential problems as St. Petersburg kept going.
This sanitation strike took place in May, and Dr. Martin Luther King was killed the month before, April 4th, 1968. It was said that he was going to come and support this strike as he did the one in Memphis, but he was killed. But his brother, Reverend A.D. King and Reverend Ralph Abernathy did come to St. Petersburg to support our sanitation workers' strike. It was after that, the next year after that, that Seabed Wimbish, the first African American, was elected to the St. Petersburg City Council. And then we're going to wrap up with our attorneys for the cause, because most of the work was pro bono. Attorneys like Sanderlin, who went on to become the first Black Circuit Court judge in Pinellas County, Fred Menace, whose son went on to become a judge up in Washington, D.C., I believe that's Ike Williams on this picture, and that might very well be Frank Peterman Jr.'s father, who was an attorney. Without these attorneys donating their hours and all of their energy to represent all of the civil rights lawsuits, the sanitation strikers, the Courageous 12, I don't know where we would be without the work that they did in our community for the benefit of all.
It was really a turning point.
Yes.